come on here. Oh, let's fluff the hair. Let's get something going. I got a new thing for the hair. I've used it before. It's a what is it? Anyways, it's a texture. That's what it is. It's a texture thing for my hair to give it like a little bit more texture and flow. Man, there we go. It's always about the hair and the lips. You ever notice that? It's always about the hair and the lips. Well, welcome everyone. It is June 4th, 2025. I am here and a wee bit tired today. I was not up late. Uh I wanted to stay up late. My mind was going, I think that's one of the reasons I'm tired. My brain kept going, and there are things that I want, like I'm working on, and I want to get going on. So, but I had to be up early because we had to take Mateus to school, and it was like, okay, I can't. If I stay up now, I won't. I'm going to be exceedingly tired to go and do anything later. So I'm here now, and I want to go in and check in with the astrology and check in with what's going on. So for today, let's see. It's actually not too bad of a day. We're getting into some real, you know, the tensity's there, but I feel like everything has gone quiet, which is kind of for such a newsreel, active, loud world right now. We're kind of in this time. It's kind of like today, anyways. A little bit of fogginess. I mean, we have a moon in Libra, and the moon's in opposition to the sun and Neptune in Aries. Now, they're not conjunct. Like when I look at a chart, one's at 0, one's at 1. They're not conjunct. They're not going to be fully conjunct till next year. They are in a less than like a 1 degree orb of each other for conjunction. It's the and in Aries, this is intense, and with Mars in Leo, I mean, the heat is on, baby. The heat is on with what's going on here. We are in this Sun Gemini energy, which is very clever and curious and wants to keep things light and wants to, it already had its Gazini with Mercury, and Mercury's moving on. Mercury's what, 2 weeks in the sign, something like that. Just moving through it, right? Just going through. And we got that Venus that is sextiling over to Jupiter. So it wants there's this expansion. There's this um energy around love, around uh coming together. And I feel like with this Venus energy, where's my Venus? Yeah, Venus going over there in sextile, and it's six. And then we have she's trining over to Mars and sextiling, and Mars is sextiling over to Jupiter. So there's this energy of really wanting to come together, wanting to make things work, but we still have to have that discernment and cross our T's and dot our I's, which is very important. Um, I think with this Mars coming in and this Mars coming into with Leo, it's at 23 degrees. Um, it's tiring. It's tired. I'm tired. It's where it really wants to get, it's going, and I'm yawning. I should be yawning. Wait, excuse me. It's just I'm talking about being tired, and here I'm starting to yawn. But we really want to start getting going. We really want to get some clarification. And the moon is also within this opposition to Saturn and Neptune, can be emotionally draining. Libra seeks harmony. Saturn demands effort. Neptune clouds it all. The psychic and emotional weight. We have the Venus, Jupiter uh, gives a blessing, but it's subtle and it's about inner alignment, right? Venus This is where, especially if you were just in if you're just in a relationship in the last 6 months, either it's ending and becoming very bumpy near the end, but maybe you're having a hard time with that, having a hard time with trying to align with all of that and wanting it to align with you. And you want it, you want to have fairness, um, and what's not fair anymore. What have you been tolerating for too long, right? The Saturn involved, it's the reality bits, and you're wise to flag relationships, flagging these relationships in the last 6 months. If they're formed, especially during an eclipse, they're formed during Venus retrograde, they're likely showing their real colors now. Real things are coming out, information's coming forward, and you might not be liking that side of that person. Maybe that side of the person where they said one thing and now they're recanting on it. They're not going through on it. It's where, a lot of things can be triggers within relationships. A lot could be money, financial wise, and you find the person's in deeper financial trouble than you knew, and that's not exactly what you want to be dealing with within a relationship. Um, it could also be children. You want children, they don't want children. That could be one. Or they start, being very possessive or aggressive, and you hadn't seen that side before, and that side is really coming out with them. So, this is about it's time to release, or if there is to renegotiate it. Um, if it's not supporting your growth, if it's not supporting where you want to go. And this is where it's like sometimes we go into things and we're just with a falsehood, and that Neptune can bring us into those illusions that everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be great, and it's going to be, a lovely fairy tale of energies of togetherness, and we're going to it's all going to be peachy keen kind of thing. But with that, as we're coming out of this Venus energy, it's just like when it comes to relationships, like you really have to look at. And sometimes, especially with the moon in an opposition, this is where you need to really find your clarity with it. And with the Venus wanting to bring in the harmony with everything, and Jupiter expanding that harmony, this is coming in where Venus is really wanting to get a real grip on what she wants in a relationship, what she wants to have going forward. Now, Jupiter being in Gemini, that's all about the communication. What is that truth about communication? Because any relationships that started within the last 6 months, I'm sorry, I'm just going by the astrology, it ain't going to last. As much as you want to hang on to it, or you want to start it, or you want to make sure it works, and this is what I want, because there's a fear of being alone. There's a fear that I'll never meet somebody. This is the be all end all. I'm not good enough for anybody else. And whatever your story is, whatever that's coming forth, you're going to find that this is a energy check. This is a time of really checking things in and really looking at things more clearly. The other thing, hi Shar, the other piece to this too is the tech and the AI. AI is coming in, and I mean, people are freaking out, and I know the thing is, so much is going to be changing, just dramatically, right from where you know. People want to have the best website and want to have all of this. That that's going to be changing, and it's all going to be having to do with AI, and not so much to do with apps and having to do with apps. Things are going to change. Now, there's a lot of because everything is programmed, right? It's a programming. But where if you're wanting to do research, if you're wanting to get into there's where there's an AI that you can go on, and it can help you to formulate that and help you to gather that information and helping you to put it together, right? There's one of the top uh, AI ones is an astrology one, which I found interesting, and it's the top one, and it's okay. Um, it it has its glitches and stuff like that with it, and for me, it's yeah, you gotta be fairly precise with it. The Leo King came out with his own app, and I think it's if I had the money, I would actually look into that more, um, because, I mean, with him generating it and creating it, it is going to be an AI it is an AI thing. So, anyways, um, going off. I'm not tech literate when it comes to things. I can understand some of the programming of it and understand how things are going to unfold and how autonomy is being rewritten, and are we choosing our tech or is it choosing for us? I feel it's more us choosing tech, where the iPhone coming in Capricorn, having the iPhone, having something tangible. I said it before, it's like some of the new things that are coming out, especially on the platform. If you're an Android person, they're having a hard time to keep up with the new technology because a lot of the iOS programs are from Apple. Now, unless the Androids go over to Meta and, work with Meta, their platform isn't as good as Apple. Apple has they are far exceeding the technology of what's coming forward. And I always love it when people say, "Well, AI can't do my job." I'm like, "You have no idea what AI is coming in." And just watching some of the things that I have seen with AI coming in, it is unbelievable. Now, the thing is it's like it's not to be fearful. There's a lot of jobs that are kind of obsolete, and we will see AI coming in more and more into the government, but not being the government. That's where people like take things to extremes. Some people don't even know how to turn their volume on their phone. Just saying. Or I have a light on my phone. Yeah, you got a light on your phone. Things like that. I mean, yes, there are some things I gotta admit, there are things on my phone, I don't always know everything. But your phone isn't gonna be just a phone, and that's the other part that's coming forth. Um, it's gonna have more components to it than it has ever had before. And this is where we are going to be experiencing a lot more when it comes to the technology piece. Technology piece is, I think, the biggest part of everything and how we are going to utilize it. Now, the thing with some of the new techniques and stuff that come in, especially like for the photo, if you got like the new one, the 17 that's going to be coming in, and then there's already been leaks about the iPhone 20. Um, but it has for pictures, it has a spatial thing. And I didn't understand that, but what it does, the spatial one, where it can map out where you are, right? So that's the whole thing about TikTok, right? TikTok, it has a spatial recognition where it can has its where it wherever you are, doesn't matter. Like it can just take from my back wall and it can spatially figure out the rest of the room. Don't ask. I don't know. But that's the thing. That's one of the criterias of the reason why they want to take TikTok down, because it's able to do that. Or take, if you're by a window or something, even if you like, or if you have a green screen where and stuff, they can figure things out with your TikTok and figure out a spatial recognition of spacing it out with their little bots. Now, That's one of the reasons why they didn't want China to have it, because when people are filming, it is able to map out those areas that they're filming in perfectly, right? And then they have that information. So things that AI is going to be able to do, the technology that's coming in, and that's part of the astrology as well. That's showing you that Pluto in Aquarius. And the Pluto in Aquarius is also about, humanity, finding out the truth about the human being, who we are as humans, and how that is going to be unfolded over the next several years or several months. More of that's going to be coming in. And yeah, the governments, corporations. I mean, the biggest thing people were worried about when Pluto went into Capricorn was corporations and what corporations were up to. And then everybody wanted to be in a corporation and work for a corporation. And, by the end of Pluto Capricorn, we saw, we started to see decline of it. And this is why when you look at the frequencies are the people that are coming forth, especially within government, or the people who are coming forth with on new platforms and stuff, are usually, a younger, more vibrant person who's, you know, um, coming in with new ideas. Um, the Pluto Capricorn was the influencers. So the influencer energy is definitely changing. It's changing where people are not just wanting to be influenced. This is where they're wanting to be involved. Now they're wanting to have some form of interaction and having that interaction, which is important. And part of that interaction, what I have, one of the reasons why I'm doing the self-directed Sacred Summer series, and I feel it's getting people to get interactive. We will have community, we will, come together. This is where it's really allowing people to open themselves up into new harmonies, to new ways. In We are in like the post history, so writing their new history, writing their new script, writing in how they are wanting to be connected, with one another. This is, how autonomy is being rewritten, right? How we are rewriting our own selves. And the Pluto Aquarius, I think, is pushing the tech versus soul theme to the forefront. Um, where we do want to have that connection to our divine, our higher being, and wanting to have that connection. And it's getting pushed. We're being pushed in a new way, in really looking at that and looking at how we are able to connect with oneself, how we can connect with others. And I feel like this is really an important role that's coming forward. And AI can be a hindrance. I think it can be more of an aid. I really do. It's just how it's utilized um, with everything. So, today it's I put like you got to ground into what's real for you. And with the moon and sun, the oppositions ask for emotional maturity for us. And Venus in the sextiles, it's it's sweetening. It's the hard edges to seek joy and comfort and creativity. Um, I always say when planets are in sextile, they're having sex, and of course they're happy, right? It's a mutual reception kind of thing, where they're coming in to seek the joy and look at things. And whoa, don't just fell. Don't rush, what's crumbling. Let the dead weight fall away. There's a lot of things that are falling away. Hence, for some reason, my stuff just fell off my desk. But anyways, let it go and listen more than talk. Even in Gemini season, listen to what your heart is telling. Listen to what your soul. Listen to what's going on around you. And this is where it's like I choose truth over illusions, and I want clarity. and soften into the change. You don't have to try and overdo things. You don't have to try and, um, you know, I want to have it this way, right? Because it's immutable to the cardinal squeeze, right? We're going into the cardinal energy. There's a lot of changes that are happening in the heavens right now, and a lot of planets are moving and changing and shifting. So, especially even from the old Pisces, are ending in the fast into Aries, moving forward. We're moving forward. But, Saturn says you better have a plan first. What are the things that you want to plan? Hence, I'm bringing up my Sacred Summer series. I really am, because it's really getting you to look at what are those plans you want to make? What are those things that you want to make? And I find it sometimes it's like, yeah, I know what they are. I know what they are, and they are in my head, but I'm starting to really write them down, because there is something that I do want to bring forward into the fall, and a program that I really want to do into the fall. And it's looking at how, writing it up, getting it together, getting the workshops put together, right? And for me, I find AI is a great assistant, because I can put the ideas together and I can put it in there. I can tweak it. No, this is not what I want. This is what I want. I want it to look like this or feel like this. And it'll do those tweaks for me. And it's very helpful. And even doing some of the research for it, so I don't have to go out and buy, because I can't afford to go buy all the books that I want. But I can get AI to go through those books for me, and pick up and highlight. We can highlight different areas of it and work, and so I can put this information together. And that's what I really, that's partially of what the energies are coming in. I know I'm just waffling on here, and I know all this information as I'm doing this, because I'm tired, but then all the information starts downloading on me, and I'm just like, wow, it's it's crazy. But this is where it's like you may feel stuck between clarity and confusion, especially in relationships, where the Libra is poking at what's not working. But this is not collapse, this is a realignment. And you can start again, but not by pretending. Um, the last chapter didn't happen. I got, the world. One of the cards I pulled today was the World Tower, and it was reversed. And so there's a lot of unfinished business in our lives and in the world around us. The cycle is almost complete, but there's a lot of things that we have to integrate within our lives, and the lessons that we need to really embrace, and again, let go of what no longer is working for us. And this is where, for me, I've witnessed where, yeah, at some markets I can go, and if I go up north, my markets do really well. I can go to a market here and earn nothing. And I could sit there and yeah, people know who I am, whatever. But that's the whole thing. It's like, okay, but what does work? What is working? And one of the things that I'm exploring and finding, and this is for all of us, is my workshops. Workshops are the big ones that are exploring. The other thing I'm exploring is that I'm doing these lives every day. Are they working? Is this something that is, I need to continue, or should I just do a live maybe on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday into the weekend, or something like that? Things like that are things to explore, and things that I need to look at more, so that also helps me to look at, my own energies and stuff like that. Feedback is always nice from you guys. So just saying. So we're starting again, but not pretending, that things didn't happen. And that's really important. Oat straw is one of the herbs of the day. So oat straw is my herb of the day for my menopausal group. And oat straw is, pulling my thing here. Oat straw it's nourishing, it's great for the nervous system, it supports, it's restoring our strength after emotional depletion, easing anxiety and change, supporting the heart and stress, and and respond. So we need to sip it slow. It led us to rebuild and build up our reserves. This is a very much a herb of Saturn in action. It's slow, it's sustained, it's wise, it's healing. This is really coming into that beautiful energy of allowing sustainability to come into our lives. Oat straw is it does have the sun energy with it as well. So wanting to nourish the body and wanting to bring in that nourishment. Um, with oat straw, the thing is with oat straw, um, oat straw is one of those one. If I'm not a doctor, okay, I'm not a doctor, but I have to say between oat straw and red clover. So if you drink red clover and then you drink oat straw, not together, don't mix your herbs together. I'm not a mixture of herbs. So if you have an infusion of red clover one day and then you have an infusion of oat straw and red clover, you're going to find your vitality is like through the roof. Now, if you're wanting to have that vitality and you are trying to have children, I'm just going to say that is a beautiful energy and it really gets your blood a pumping, right? So it gets your blood a pumping. So oat straw, that vitality, it has the fibrous in them too. It's also for the ligaments and helps with the ligaments and helps you to mend the ligaments back together, right? And that's what it does for you and brings that in. But it's also helps with the bone density. So if you are having oat straw eases spasms, inflammation. It's great for the memory, weak digestion. So I've been making a list of the different herbs that when I get a little bit more um, dollars in, I'm wanting to start ordering a little bit of oat straw. I want to bring in my nettle, want to bring in the red clover, and start doing more of the infusions every day. Start bringing in that sunshine, that goldenness, and that vitality. Awaken the vitality within me again. Um, because I certainly need it today. That's for sure. The other piece too here is um the sustain is fluorite. Fluorite is I don't even know where my fluorite is. But anyways, fluorite is for mental clarity. A beautiful alignment with the Gemini season can be overwhelming for some people, and the Libra moon indecision. Um, Fluorite helps with clarity, clearing distortion. Fluorite's really beautiful for psychic alignment. You can use it if you're feeling scattered thoughts, block static, um, psychic static, that's what it is, or energetic overload. It's great to align with your truth and not what's trendy, right? So this aligning with what you know is true for you, not so much as like hopping on every bandwagon because that's just the thing that you think you should do. And as I said, the tarot card that I got was the world card reversed. So what isn't completed? So when it's reversed, usually if it's forward, that means we're at the end of a cycle. When it's reversed, things aren't completed. There's a lot of things out of alignment. There's a lot of things we still have to complete. A lot of things that we might be holding on to that are fearful, right? And looking at that fear that we're hanging on to or wanting to keep because we think it's a good thing, it's working for us, so we say. So allow ourselves, to really watch what's going on, the fogginess, the spark, and the test. I feel there's a lot of yes energy with this. If you've been waiting to push forward with a bold idea, self trust, this is really, there's a lot of cosmic green light. Libra moon, and even if it's, in this opposition, There's emotional accountability, and it's non-negotiable. Avoid conflicts and chasing illusions. This is where you look at things. Is this really true to my heart? Is this really what I want? Is this the direction I want to go into? Right? There is, the emotional fogginess or overly idealistic. This is where you got to have those little check-ins and just say, in which direction can I go? And then Saturn will bring you the reality check. It'll come in and give you that reality check that you need. So balance. You can have your truth, but it needs to sit in harmony with the real world. It needs to sit in harmony with that truth, right? And creative breakthroughs definitely are there, and conversations to opening up the portals. Honesty is huge, especially within the relationships, the honesty within yourself and to others. Don't start to this is the other part I gotta say. Don't put people on a fucking pedestal because you're wanting that relationship, because you feel that is the relationship that is going to be the be all end all of all the relationships in your life. No. No, I see it over and over again. Um, I have beautiful clients that are constantly they're afraid to be alone. They're afraid to be by themselves. And a lot of times they're air signs because air signs need a companion. They need to have um that connection. That's what the air sign is, right? They want to have that connection. Um with somebody. Libra relationships, right? Aquariuses are very flirtatious. Geminis want to have the conversations. So they want to have some sort of connection. And sometimes, you know, they have to be careful that they just don't grab on to a relationship because of a fear of not having a relationship. And that's a huge one. And that's what this moon is really getting us to look at more deeply in our lives. So, yeah. Here's my affirmation for today. I grow with grace. I welcome endings that make space for beginnings. Yes. I grow with grace. I welcome endings that make space for beginnings. Hallelujah. Sounds good to me. Yes, love it, love it. As I said, if you want to join me for my sacred summer series, let me know. It's $50 for June and $100 for all 3 months. So, and we also have the new moon readings will be coming out soon. Yeah, full moon coming up on June 11th, the strawberry moon. Woo! Cuz love strawberry moon because we're getting very close to that summer solstice and that sassiness, the sassiness of the solstice and bringing in that summer energy. So my loves, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna send you out so much love. I have to get going, and yeah, if you want to buy me a coffee, I'm raising money right now, and give me. I might have to do a crowdfunding because I need to raise money to get my brakes fixed. That is important. So I am. I know people have wonderful mechanics. It's great. I've had a list of mechanics, but the thing is, I need to have the money before I can do that. And yeah, so it's like you have this one thing that needs to be done, but then you have everything in your regular everyday life needs to get paid as well and needs to be done as well. So looking at doing something to create abundance to get my brakes fixed because that's an important piece in my old jalopy Louise, and keep her humming and keep her going. So, anyways, God bless and the goddess bless you. We will talk to you guys soon, and let me know if you want these every day. I think I might end up going to 3 days a week and just doing that for lives and go from there. All righty. Have a blessed one, everyone. Bye-bye.